I was having lunch the other day, nothing fancy, just a hamburger and a Coke, and the young fellow serving me said something that stuck with me. He said, "Mr. Buffett, I've got $100 I can spare each month, but I don't know what to do with it. Seems like everyone's got a different answer." And I thought to myself, that right there is the problem, isn't it? See, we took that exact question and ran an experiment, 10 different strategies. Same $100, same starting point. And what we found, well, it's going to make some people pretty uncomfortable. Because here's the thing most people don't realize. It's not just about the money. It's about the story you tell yourself about that money. Now, before we get into the numbers, and believe me, we're going to get into the numbers, I want you to think about something. According to a 2024 study from the Federal Reserve, 37% of Americans couldn't cover a $400 emergency expense without borrowing money or selling something. 37%. But here's where it gets really interesting. That same study showed that 63% of those same people spent money on lottery tickets that year. They're telling themselves they can't save, but they can gamble. You see what I'm getting at? The problem isn't the $100. The problem is the psychology wrapped around that $100. So we set up this experiment with 10 different 25-year-olds. Same income bracket, about $45,000 a year. Same $100 a month. 10 completely different strategies. And we tracked them for 12 months to see what would happen. What we found is going to challenge everything you think you know about starting small. Let's start with what most people do. Person number 1, let's call her Sarah. She put her $100 into a regular savings account at a big bank. Now, Sarah felt smart. She was saving, right? That's what responsible people do. After 12 months, Sarah had $200 plus about $2 in interest. $2.40. Meanwhile, inflation that year ran at about 3.2. So in real purchasing power, Sarah actually lost about $36. She was going backwards while thinking she was moving forward. That's like running on a treadmill and wondering why you're not getting anywhere. Person number 2, Mark. He went the other direction entirely. Took that $100 each month straight to the casino. It's entertainment, he said. And look, I'm not going to tell a grown person they can't have fun. But let's call it what it is. After 12 months, Mark had $340 left. He won twice, felt like a genius both times, and lost everything back plus more. But he'll tell you about those 2 wins for the rest of his life. Person number 3 tried something that sounds smarter, a high-yield savings account. And this is where people start to perk up a little. Jessica found an online bank paying 4.5% interest. After 12 months, 12 months, better than Sarah, sure. She at least broke even with inflation. But here's what Jessica doesn't realize yet. She's still losing. She's losing opportunity. Now you might be thinking, Warren, what's wrong with a guaranteed 4.5%? That sounds pretty good. And 20 years ago, I might have agreed with you more enthusiastically. But let me tell you about person number 4, David. David took that same $100 and put it into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. Nothing fancy, just bought a piece of American business every single month whether the market was up or down. After 12 months, $1,289. Now that might not sound like a huge difference from Jessica's $1,227. $62, right? But here's what most people don't understand about compound growth. It's not linear, it's exponential. If David keeps this up for 30 years, just that $100 a month, and the market does what it's historically done, averaging about 10% annually, he's not going to 36,000, he's going to have around 217,000. Jessica, with her 4.5% savings account, she'll have about 90,000. Same discipline, same $100. Different result by 127,000. That's the cost of playing it safe. Now let's talk about person number 5, because this is where the psychology gets fascinating. Rachel decided she was going to be clever. She read some books, watched some YouTube videos, probably not mine, and decided she could beat the market by picking individual stocks. After 12 months, $987. She lost money, not because she's dumb. Rachel's quite bright, actually, but she made the classic mistake. She confused activity with productivity. She traded too much, got emotional when stocks dropped, sold at the wrong times, bought at the wrong times, and paid fees on top of all that. This is what I mean when I say it's not about the math, it's about the psychology. Person number 6 tried something different, cryptocurrency. Put that $100 a pickage month into Bitcoin and Ethereum, split down the middle. And you know what? After 12 months, he had 1,500 dand, highest return of anyone so far. But here's the question nobody asks when they see numbers like that. Can you sleep at night? Because in month 4, his account was down to 520. In month 7, it jumped to 1,100. In month 9, it crashed to 680. He's up 26%. Overall, yes. But he aged about 5 years in the process. He checked his phone 17 times a day. He couldn't focus at work. His girlfriend was ready to leave him because he wouldn't stop talking about blockchain. You can't spend money you're too stressed to enjoy. Let me tell you about person number 7, because this is where we start to see real wisdom. Tom did something boring. He put $50 into that S&P 500 index fund and $50 into paying off his credit card debt. He had about $3,000 in credit card debt at 18.9% interest. After 12 months, $640 in investments, plus he'd paid down $600 of principal on his debt and saved about $380 in interest he didn't have to pay. Total financial improvement, about $1,624. See, Tom understood something crucial, an 18.9 guaranteed return by eliminating debt beats a 10% average return in the market every single time. But this is where people get tripped up. Paying off debt doesn't feel like investing. It doesn't give you that same excitement of watching your portfolio grow. But mathematically, financially, psychologically, it's one of the smartest things you can do. Person number 8 tried something I found particularly interesting. Linda took that $100 and invested it in herself. She bought online courses, books, and certification materials for her field. Spent the entire $2,200 over the year. At the end of 12 months, her account balance was zero, but she got a promotion that increased her salary by $8,000 a year. Now that's not an investment strategy I can backtest or put into a spreadsheet, but that's a 667% return on investment in year 1 alone, and it keeps paying dividends. This is what I mean when I say you have to think differently about money. Person number 9 did something that requires more explanation. Jennifer took that $100 and split it 4 ways. $40 into an index fund, $30 into a Roth IRA, $20 into her company's 401k to get the full employer match, and $10 into an emergency fund. Now this is more complex, I'll grant you. But let's look at what actually happened. The $40 monthly into the index fund grew to about $515. The $30 monthly into the Roth IRA grew to about $386, but it's growing tax-free forever. The $20 into her 401k became $240, but her employer matched 100%, so it's actually $480s. And that $10 monthly emergency fund became $120 of pure peace of mind. Total, about $1,501 in value, plus the psychological benefit of knowing she's covered from multiple angles. Jennifer understood something most people miss. Diversification isn't just about different stocks. It's about different purposes, different tax treatments, different time horizons. She's not trying to hit a home run. She's just making sure she gets on base consistently. Now let me tell you about person number 10. Because this one surprised even me. Michael took that $100 and joined an investment club. Not some fancy Wall Street thing, just a group of regular people meeting once a month at a library, pooling knowledge, studying businesses together, holding each other accountable. His returns? About $1,300 after 12 months. Solid, but not the highest. But here's what the numbers don't show. Michael learned more about investing in those 12 months than most people learn in a lifetime. He built relationships with people who shared his goals. He created accountability that kept him consistent when he might have quit. And in month 13, outside our experiment, Michael started a side business with 2 people from that club. An idea they developed together. You see, the $100 wasn't really the investment. The $100 was the entry fee to a community and an education that changed how he thinks about money entirely. This is what people miss when they obsess over returns. Sometimes the best investment isn't the one with the highest number in your account. It's the one that changes who you become. So let's step back and look at all 10 strategies. Regular savings account, $1,200. Casino, $340. High yield savings, $1,227. Index fund, $1,289. Stock picking, $987. Cryptocurrency, $1,500. Split debt and investing, $1,624 to value. Self-investment, zero balance, but $8,000 salary increase. Diversified approach, $1,500. Investment club, $1,300 plus intangible benefits. Now here's what most people don't realize. Asking which strategy won is asking the wrong question. The right question is, which strategy could you actually stick with for 30 years? Because here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. The best investment strategy in the world is worthless if you abandon it in year 2. Person number 6 made 26% with cryptocurrency, but he's probably going to panic and sell everything the next time it crashes 40%. Person number 2 already lost most of his money gambling. Person number 5 got discouraged and quit stock picking entirely. Meanwhile, boring old David with his boring old index fund, he hasn't missed a month. He doesn't check the balance obsessively. He sleeps fine at night, and 30 years from now, he's going to be the richest person in this experiment. Not because he's the smartest, because he's the most consistent. You want to know the real difference between people who build wealth and people who don't? It's not intelligence. Lord knows I've met plenty of brilliant people who are broke. It's not even income. We gave all 10 of these people the same $100. It's this. Wealthy people have made a psychological shift that poor people haven't made yet. They've stopped seeing money as something to spend or hoard. They see it as something that works for them. When Sarah put money in her savings account, she was hoarding. She was afraid of losing it, so she guaranteed it would lose value to inflation. When Mark went to the casino, he was spending. He was trying to feel something, to get some excitement, to rebel against the mundane discipline of saving. But when David bought index funds, when Linda invested in herself, when Jennifer diversified her approach, they were deploying capital. They were putting money to work. That's the shift. From hoarding or spending to deploying. And once you make that shift in your head, everything changes. So what should you do with your $100? Well, here's what I'd suggest, and this isn't complicated. First, if you have high interest debt, anything above 8 to 10%, pay that off first. That's your guaranteed return right there. Second, if your employer offers a 401k match, take it. That's free money. Never turn down free money. Third, build a small emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses eventually, but start with just $1,000. You need this for peace of mind. And fourth, and only fourth, start investing in a low-cost index fund, something that tracks the S&P 500 or the total stock market. Put money in every month. Don't look at it constantly. Don't panic when it goes down. Don't get cocky when it goes up. Just keep going. It's not sexy. It's not going to make you feel like a genius. Nobody's going to ask you for stock tips at parties. But 30 years from now, you're going to be just fine. Look, I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen every get-rich-quick scheme, every market crash, every moment of panic and euphoria, and I can tell you with absolute certainty, the people who win are not the ones who make the most brilliant moves. They're the ones who make decent moves consistently over time. Your $100 isn't too small to matter, but it's also not going to change your life next month or next year. What changes your life is the habit you build, the psychology you develop, the person you become through the process of investing consistently, regardless of what the market's doing. So start today, not tomorrow. Today. Even if it's only $50 this month. Even if it's only $25. Because the best time to start investing was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. I'll see you in 30 years. You're going to be doing just fine.